Mike, good morning. I'm Pinellas County Sheriff Bob Gualtieri, and I'm going to give you very limited information at this point and just tell you what we know as we know it in the moment. And this is a very fluid and still unfolding investigation. So this occurred as a result of the auto theft task force between the St. Petersburg Police Department and the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office. Deputies and detectives working down here in St. Petersburg at about 3:20 this morning. A vehicle was observed driving recklessly in the area off of 22nd Avenue South, and it was up on two wheels. It had been seen driving at fast speeds. It came to rest at an area along 18th Avenue South, and they tried to effect a traffic stop. As deputies and detectives from the St. Petersburg Police Department tried to effect a traffic stop in a marked car, when they turned on the emergency equipment, the car backed up at a high rate of speed and rammed into one of the undercover vehicles. It then went off the road onto the sidewalk into a dirt area and came back onto the roadway, striking a St. Petersburg Police Department marked vehicle. The vehicle then fled the area. We had the helicopter up. The helicopter was calling out the locations as the vehicle fled from the police, where detectives then found the vehicle again a short time later. The vehicle took evasive action, went down an alleyway, and came to rest at a residence right behind me here. The passenger in the vehicle bailed out of the vehicle, and when he bailed out of the vehicle, he had an AR-15 automatic rifle in his hand. He ran from the deputies. He turned around and in a threatening manner towards law enforcement officers, and as a result of that, there was a shooting where one of the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office deputies shot and killed the subject. We're not going to release any other information at this point. It's still, again, a preliminary investigation, still unfolding. Interviews are being conducted. Next of kin has not been notified yet, so we aren't releasing any names until we do that. I anticipate that we'll have more information here in the next couple of hours with specific information for you, and we'll announce a time for a press conference, and we'll give you much more specific information to get out. I anticipate that will be in the next couple of hours sometime.
Did the suspect die here at the scene?
At the hospital.
What about the driver of the car?
The driver of the car is in custody, and he is being interviewed right now, but he is in custody. So after the passenger bailed out of the car, he continued just to the south of where we're standing right now, to the west, and he went south on the street that you're standing on, and he was located and taken into custody about a half a mile south of here.
No injuries to deputies?
No law enforcement personnel were injured.
Do you know about how many shots were fired?
It's still preliminary, but best we can tell right now, probably 4 or 5. But again, it's still a very fluid, unfolding investigation. But from the best I know right now, probably 4 to 5 shots were fired by the deputy.
Did the suspect fire any shots?
Not that we know of right now, no.
Did they have a connection to this house?
No connection to this house at all. They were fleeing from law enforcement, and again, he went down the alley, which would be just to the south of where we are standing right now, to the south and to the east. And he went down that alley, again, taking evasive action, trying to get away. So there's no connection to the residents of these homes or to this area at all.
Any ages?
I'm not going to give out any other information at this point. Again, it's all still preliminary, and until we make the next of kin notifications, we won't have anything else. So the important thing right now is that the area is safe, the community is safe, no law enforcement personnel were hurt. Again, but a very serious incident, and when anybody is carrying an automatic rifle and pointed at the police, it's a very serious situation, and we're just very thankful that no deputies or police officers, law enforcement personnel were hurt or certainly worse in this situation. So again, it's all unfolding, and we'll probably in the next couple hours be able to give you more specific information and detail it out for you as to what happened.
Was the vehicle they were driving stolen, or were they just driving recklessly?
Well, it was, and again, okay, this is all unfolding, but is that the vehicle matched the description one that was on a hot sheet for stolen vehicles. The tag did not belong on that car, and it looks like right now that it probably wasn't stolen. It was driving recklessly, but as it turns out, it probably wasn't stolen, but the tag was not assigned to it, and so there's some improprieties as far as the tag in the vehicle. We're still trying to flush that out at this point.
Is it the truck, the black truck?
No, that's not. The vehicle that was involved is not here where we're standing now. Again, it was the scene of that is about a half mile south of here, which is where the driver was taken into custody in that vehicle. It was a van. It was a Ford van, I believe.
So the driver got away in the car?
Well, he continued when the passenger bailed out. The driver continued on in the alley just to the south of us, driving west, and there was another cruiser behind that van, and he continued to follow the van. So as the passenger bailed, some of the law enforcement officers went with the passenger who bailed out of the vehicle. Some continued to follow the van, and the shooting occurred here with the passenger, and the driver continued, and law enforcement officers followed that and were able to stop the van and take him into custody. So we had two simultaneous evolving scenes. So we'll get back to you when we have more information here in a little